Hello friends and welcome. If you are new, hi, my name is Angela. I am so glad that you found this video. I am a mom of two beautiful babes and I'm here to share my home, heart, and faith with you guys. And in today's video, I wanted to open up and discuss all of the things related to my postpartum body as a mom of two under two. So before I get into all of the nitty-gritty details about my specific postpartum body, I wanted to just give a little history for those of you that do not know me and do not know my story. So I have two kids under two. They are just about 13 months apart. My daughter was born April of 2019 and then my son was born June 2020. With my daughter, my pregnancy was pretty normal. I put on weight slowly over time, and then as the third trimester came upon, it just like hit and I blew up fast. With my son, it was very different. I was very sick a lot at the beginning. I was not like, I just didn't really have much of an appetite. So with him at first I was actually losing weight, and then around 5 months I started to put weight back on, but I did end up being just about the same weight with both of my pregnancies by the time I had my children. With both pregnancies I put on roughly 50 to 55 pounds. I don't know exactly for sure how much I weighed before I got pregnant with my daughter, but I did have her via C-section, and then my son was a VBAC. So on top of having my babies back to back, I do have a C-section scar as well. But I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of history on things so you kind of know my story and things like that. I also wasn't like skinny before having my kids. I was comfortable with my body and I am comfortable with my body now. That being said, they are very different. My body before and my body after, there are a lot of different changes that I'm going to talk about and show you guys these things. Another thing I wanted to say is if you are watching this, whether you are currently pregnant, have had your baby, are nowhere near having kids, whatever part of life you are in, when you hit this moment of being postpartum, the biggest piece of advice that I can give is just embrace it. Remember that you were blessed and that body gave you life, so you might not ever get a true back to normal body, but that is just a part of having kids. Things change and move around when you get pregnant. So I just wanted to say that and tell you guys, like, don't compare yourself to other people, even though there are some women out there that may look like they have gone back to normal or they lost all of their baby weight right away or anything like that. There's a lot of different things that go into how you gain weight and how you lose weight, and stretch marks and pregnancy and postpartum. So looking at the way someone else looks, especially if you're looking at that person through like social media or anything like that, you have to take into consideration some people have learned really well how to hide things that they don't like about themselves, whether it's with clothing or the way that they're posing themselves. So you can't always take those pictures and videos and things at face value. That being said, we're just gonna get super open and vulnerable and we're gonna talk about all of the things now. So like I was saying, before I had kids, I wasn't skinny, but I wasn't fat. I always had areas that I wasn't comfortable with, and those areas are still there. They're just a little bit different. So I did breastfeed both of my children. With my daughter, I breastfed her till she was about 6 months. She was about 4 months old when I got pregnant the second time, and my supply just was basically gone once I got pregnant. So with my son, I'm still currently breastfeeding him and he's almost 8 months old. So my boobs are very saggy and I have a lot of stretch marks on the side here, but they're not super noticeable. But these ones like blend in with my skin tone. You can only tell like super up close that they are there. But that is one of the things that will change. Whether you breastfeed or not, your boobs are going to get very big after you have your baby because they're filling up with breast milk, and if you don't breastfeed, it will just work its way out and they will go down to whatever size they plan on being after you have your kids or you're done breastfeeding, whatever the case may be. Another area that changed that I didn't quite expect or think would work out the way that it did is this area in here. So one thing I did not expect of that area is how like loose and stretchy and just flabby that area is. Sometimes when I sit down, it all just like gravitates towards my butt because that's what I'm sitting on, and it just looks like a flat pancake or something. I don't know, it's super weird. I do have a few stretch marks on like the side of my thigh and a few on the inner thigh. Most of the stretch marks that I have were on my love handles and in the belly area. I definitely have a mom pooch that's there, probably won't ever go away, especially because I have a C-section. I feel like it's a little different than just having a baby naturally. One of the things I did do with my stretch marks was I was very diligent at putting lotion and things on them. Trying to moisturize those will help decrease them, but that is another one of those things that is genetic. There's only so much you can do to help that area out. Let's take a look. Going to see if I can show this. Right there is my C-section scar. You can see right in here is where I have a lot of stretch marks, and I also have this funny looking one here because my belly button was pierced before I got pregnant. I actually kept it in the whole time I was pregnant with my daughter, but it's just a lot of loose skin. It jiggles, and it's also that time of the month, so I'm a little extra bloated right now, but it's by no means flat. Putting on something like this sort of helps, but I look like I'm a little pregnant right now because of all the bloating. I don't know if you can see here, but I have a lot of the like reddish stretch marks in this area as well. I have a lot in here. So a few other things I just wanted to mention in this video is I am definitely more comfortable in my own skin than I was before I had kids. I thrived the first few months of pregnancy, and then that last trimester, like, I just got very big very fast, which is part of the reason I think I have so many stretch marks in this area, because I just went from like a cute little pregnancy to, oh my goodness, when is this baby coming out of me? I was looking up a lot of different like questions that people were asking pertaining to postpartum body to help with this video, and one thing that I seen a lot was people were asking like if your odor changes after you have kids, and I personally haven't noticed anything like that. After you have a baby, if you are breastfeeding, you do have a lot of night sweats. I don't know if that's still a thing if you don't breastfeed. If you had night sweats and you did not breastfeed, leave a comment below if you feel comfortable and let us know, because I'm actually kind of curious about that. I've only ever heard it referred to as a breastfeeding thing, but with that, I did smell pretty bad. I just sat down to edit this video and realized that I didn't talk about one super important thing that has to do with postpartum. That is my postpartum hair loss. Having my kids back to back definitely did some number on my hair. I have a ton in here that I just lost, and it's all growing back in. I've seen in some of my videos when I was editing, like I had a ton of bald spots all throughout. Every single time I showered, I literally felt like half of my hair was falling out. It was terrifying. But I did just want to mention real quick, this part is not sponsored or anything. I truthfully just love their products, and I use Monate. I will have a link below for you guys if you wanted to check them out if you were interested, or you can add me on Instagram and DM me over there if you have any questions. I've been using it since I was 7 months pregnant, and honestly, it's been a game changer for me. When I had ALIYAH, I did not use it, and I noticed a big difference this time around, that everything just came back in so much faster, and I'm so very grateful for that. Something else I would like to be better with is working out to help a little bit with some of the flab. I do occasionally, but I'm definitely not a advent worker outer type person. There's just never enough time in the day for me. One thing I have learned is how to style my postpartum body. That way I'm comfortable with the way that I look, and there's just certain pieces and clothing items I've realized that just don't work for me anymore, and some of those are things that I had beforehand that I just had to let go of, because honestly every time I seen it in my closet I was just super sad that I wasn't able to wear it anymore. So if you are struggling with your postpartum body, that could be a reason why. Maybe there's just a few pieces that you should no longer be wearing. I do have a video of how I style my breastfeeding body. I shared 5 outfits. I will link that up here for you if you are interested in that. I give a lot of good tips about styling your postpartum body. Even if you are not a breastfeeding mom, it would be beneficial for you to watch if that is something you are struggling with. I think I talked about all the things I wanted to share related to my postpartum body as a mom of 2 under 2. If you like this style video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you enjoyed my content, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I have a new video that comes out every single week. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye.